Hey, what's up, Stay Tuners? It's your good friend Jimbo here. Just letting you know, before you listen to this awesome episode that we give you guys week in and week out, head over to Twitter, follow us there at ST Sports Podcast, as well as our Facebook page. Like and share that. And then head over to YouTube after you're done doing all that stuff and subscribe to our channel, because we will be live streaming within the next few weeks, and that's where you're going to want to watch and interact with us. So hit Twitter up, ST Sports Podcast, Facebook, like and share our page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Enjoy the show.
You heard the rest. Now here's the best. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast with Jimbo and O'Brien.
And yes, we are back. I told you guys yesterday that me and Shoulders will be back, and I mean, he's here.
What's up?
You look very awake.
Oh, it's opposite day.
What's up?
Hey, actually, happy 221 day. Cowboys Day. Well, haven't won a playoff game in 20 some years. 221.
Oh. Okay.
So how's your week been so far?
Living the dream. Hopefully everybody's week, day, month, year, whatever the fuck it is.
Do you know what day it is or no?
No. I just got off a 7-day stretch of night shift, and I'm a bit sleepy.
I think you need the John Jones plan. Coke and more Coke.
Yeah. You mean Coca-Cola Classic, right?
Yeah, Coca-Cola Classic. Which, we will be talking about.
Colombian Bam Bam. Booger sugar.
So, a lot to talk about this past week. And surprisingly, some of the bigger stories came out after Wednesday. So, thankfully, we didn't record Wednesday.
Right.
Some more Astros talk we're gonna talk about. Dusty Baker asking the commissioner to punish players that being his players because of the cheating scandal.
Right, which is funny.
Yeah. Also, baseball has a couple rule changes this season coming up. On top of the NFL owners sending over their proposal for a new CBA that is including a 17th week. So, curious to see what your opinion is going to be on that. But jumping right into it, let's just go with baseball, because actually there was, I think, 16 so games on today. Some of the rule changes, there's like 4 or 5 of them, but these two are the only ones that I thought were actually pretty good. Now pitchers have to face at least a 3-batter minimum, so no more of the bring a lefty in against the lefty and pitch one player, and length of minor league options. So the pitcher one, like I said, we would see a lot of a left-hand batter. Trout would come in, and you want your best reliever go up against him, and then get him out or whatever. Very next pitcher or very next batter, change out the pitcher again. I hated that. I don't know.
Well, it slows down the game, so
yeah.
I mean, it'll probably speed it up now.
Yeah, and
well, there is an exception barring injury or illness.
Well,
but
yeah.
I want everybody to think that it's just you have 3 batters, but
yeah, no, like you said, depend on injuries and stuff like that. But also, I think this might help with the output of the offense. Baseball wants to go with more offense now, and by doing this, like I said, defensive scheming or whatever you want to call it with coaching, it's going to be harder for that coach to figure out what they want to do now. You look at the Yankees. They got Stan, then Judge, and then Sanchez, 3 power hitters. It's going to be hard to try to pitch around them.
Yeah, can be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it'll have that big of an impact because you only got to pitch 3, but
yeah, And then
Is there a clear definition of like, well, what if I pitch 2 full counts, finish, and then the next batter I just throw 1 pitch? Then they take me out. Technically, I did throw to 3 batters.
well, yeah, I mean, if you throw 3 pitches and all were ground balls and you got them out, or they got 2 outs and one guy got the first base save, then that would be his third batter.
Right.
Then you could be able to pull him out. Like I said, with the other rule, the length of minor league options, we saw a lot of, especially with Buck Showalter when he was with the Orioles, he would send down a starting center fielder and bring up a center fielder just to give another roster spot plus that starting center fielder a rest instead of just having him on the
Makes
bench
sense.
as a pinch hitter. So now, with the exception of injuries or bereavement placements, all players optioned to the minors have used to have to stay there at least 10 days before being recalled. This year, they have to stay down there 15 days. And I believe pitchers are the only thing a little different.
Well, I mean, is 5 more days really going to make that big of a difference?
Well, it could be. I mean, you could play, say, the Yankees 3 of those 5 days. It might be a big game to, for first place or for a playoff spot. And then those other 2 days you might be playing, like, the Mets.
Right.
So, you're not going to really have to put your starters out there against the Mets since they're a fucking laughingstock, too. No one wants to even fucking buy them.
All right. Well, he said that, folks, not me.
But yeah, again, it does seem like the Major League Baseball is definitely going more towards trying to get more offensive output. So as far as rules,
I don't see nothing that really jumps out that makes me worried.
yeah,
I mean, it's like, it's baseball, whatever.
yeah. What about the Astros? Do you feel like talking about the Astros a little more?
What do you want to say about them?
First off, I don't know. Did you see what the Astros owner's statement on the whole thing was? Yes, we did cheat, but it had no effect on the outcome of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have still beat them. Well, if you would have still beat them, why'd you have to cheat?
Right.
And then, just when...
Alan's not here.
Yeah. Just when, we were given Commissioner of Baseball a lot of credit for handling suspensions and stuff, he has plummeted now.
Right.
One reason why he didn't suspend the players was because before the season started, he sent the memo out to all the Major League Baseball teams saying, here are the cheating rules. Can't do, can do. And he felt it was on the Astros GM at the time and the head coach at the time to relay that message, and they didn't. So that's why I didn't suspend the players. So you're telling me the players didn't know that they were not allowed to cheat?
Yeah, well, I've heard crazier shit.
There's a lot of common sense shit here that, and the other statement he made, too, about it, and again, the more this commissioner talks, the more Pete Rose has a leg to stand on to get reinstated. Basically, he said the precedent was set already as far as suspensions when it comes to cheating, which, Pete Rose gambled, broke a rule.
Yeah, but he never betted against his team. He betted for his team.
And that's the thing, though, is so the precedent was set to not suspend players. Why is Pete Rose suspended?
Well, right.
So I definitely think Pete Rose is going to win that case, but the reason why, this is probably the only thing I do agree with. He asked why. He was asked why he didn't strip them of the title. Basically, if I were to strip him of the title and you go to Cooperstown and you see the 2017 where the World Series champion name would be blank, everybody's going to know who won it anyways. And I've been saying that. There's no point of stripping the title or putting an asterisk next to it, because everybody's going to be like, oh, that's right. That's the team that...
Bang down trash cans.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. Now, Dusty Baker, the new head coach of the Astros, came out and basically said, I hope the commissioner suspends any pitcher that hits my batters.
Well, I think you kind of put that on yourself, so...
That, and how can you tell if it was...
Right.
Intentional or unintentional? I mean, look at John Kruk and Randy Johnson back in the day. The first one was obviously just got away from him, and I mean, almost took Kruk's head off. But I think it's just going to be hard to decide which one is intentional or unintentional, unless you're like some of the pitchers that came out and flat out said, "Yes, I'm going to throw at them."
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't see how that's going to stop it, but okay.
I mean, like Cincinnati Reds starter Trevor Bauer came out and said, "I'm not going to let them forget the fact that they are hypocrites. They are cheaters." The Dodgers pitcher Ross Stripling said, "I would lean towards yes in the right time and right place."
Yeah, really lean.
Cleveland Indians pitcher Mike Clevenger said, "I think players will deal with it the way it should be across the league. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable few at-bats for a lot of those boys, and it shouldn't be. They shouldn't be comfortable." Now, here's the thing, though, that I would have against any pitcher, legitimately throwing at the Astros. What about the players that are first-year players for the Astros? They didn't cheat last year.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some kind of precedent set there. So
Yeah, and like now, Jose Altuve, I'd be throwing at him. When he hit the walk-off home run to win that game, coming around third base, he's holding his jersey saying, "Don't rip off the jersey, don't rip off the jerseys." Now, there's conspiracy saying, well, that's because he had the buzzard underneath his jersey because he touched on plate, ran back to the dugout into the back, and switched out his jersey. He came out and said, or not him, the Boston Red Sox coach who got fired this offseason because of all this,
right,
came out and said his wife didn't like how the players would rip his jersey open and show his chest. And then he had a bad tattoo and didn't want the world to see it.
You must have went the same place as LeBron.
When I saw that, that's what I thought about you, when you brought it up. But these theories, whether they're true or not, I still think Altuve did have the buzzer, and that's why he didn't want the jersey ripped open, because obviously... And by this point, I mean, he already caught. Might as well come out and just say, "Hey, I had a buzzer underneath,"
Right.
Of all the statements between pitchers and stuff like that, Justin Verlander, the crybaby that me and you both hate, actually made a good statement that I agree with. With all these pitchers coming out and say, "Yeah, I'm going to hit them." He made the statement saying, "How are you going to be able to tell if a pitch was by accident or on purpose?"
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. It's going to all be discretion.
Now, as far as punishments, they usually go 1 or 2 games. By judging on the past, so anything else you want to put in?
No,
I mean, you're kind of falling asleep there. I'm trying to keep you awake.
Try harder.
Listen, you fall asleep, Juan's going to come out and Robert Kraft you.
Oh boy. I will, senor.
You stayed the fuck away from me.
Oh, get a little closer. Get off me!
I swear to God, I'll bitch slap his ass. Why don't you give me some of that special tea? I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Now,
it's special sugar.
Is it the white or the brown?
Both, senor.
Ooh.
Would you like to sniff it?
Not the brown, because I don't know where that's been.
in my cousin Rodrigo's buttocks.
Probably. Now, some of the teams are having fun with the Astros with this. The one app out there, that TikTok app or whatever the stupid thing is. I saw the Blue Jays played. I forget the guy's name. That I want to bang on the drums all day. It's a classic rock song, but the Blue Jays had the beach bowls or whatever you want to call, and they had that song playing in the background, and they're banging on the drums. It was kind of funny.
Reminds me of Adam Sandler in that one movie where he's playing the bongos in the head shop.
Oh, okay.
You must play the bongos, man.
So I mean, I'm kind of tired of this Astro stuff. Hopefully,
I'm definitely tired. Oh, never mind.
Hopefully this will eventually go away once the season starts at the end of March.
I mean, at the same point, you gotta just let it go as players. Like, I don't understand. What are you gonna try to prove?
Yeah, and exactly, the past is the past.
If you want to win, you shouldn't be playing around.
Yeah.
So any team that's facing them and decides to bean players, put them on the bag, and then they stand up scoring, and then you kind of just screwed yourself.
Yeah. So
that's my opinion.
So some NFL talk. Did you see about Joe Burrows? Sounds like he set himself up for a Eli Manning situation.
Get drafted and then traded?
Yep. He said that he came out and said, I have all the leverage over the Bengals.
What leverage would that be?
I guess sitting out. But also on the flip side, he did make the statement that he's from Ohio, and it would be pretty cool to play for a hometown team. I just wonder if this is going to be a Eli Phillip 2.0. It's kind of funny that Eli's retiring, and this might happen.
Right.
Bengals have the number 1 draft pick. I think Detroit's number 3. I think Washington might have number 2. So does Washington try to trade up and draft Burrow, or?
Well, so depends on. Is that really a better fit?
I think anything. Talk about the Bengals too. Let me ask you this too. We got XFL playing today. For how bad the Bengals have been the past couple of years, do you think some of the XFL teams could beat the Bengals?
It's a possibility on a good Sunday.
Because PJ Walker, did you see any of the game today?
No.
300 plus yards again, 4 touchdowns.
Jesus.
I'm like, Philly, we need a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I guess.
And I wonder how that's going to work too. So these kids are going to play till middle of April or so. If they want to go to the NFL, that's when all the OTAs start up. So these kids literally would play a full year, of football. But so I do think Burrow would be better off in the Bengals though, and
if you're that good, you should be able to make the team around you better.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Now, because the reason why I brought it up too is because you and Alan busted on me when I was, behind him. Wait, let me rephrase that.
All right then.
I don't know if he's going to be, not a Tom Brady, but I don't know if he's going to be as good as, a top 5 quarterback type thing.
Well, again, it matters solely on how he performs.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but so no other comments on Burrow?
I'm
just having fun.
I don't understand. I don't understand the leverage thing. I really don't. So it's what do you mean you have leverage? Leverage in what sense?
Because if he sits out, if he gets drafted by the Bengals and he sits out the whole year, he could re-enter the NFL draft the next year. So the Eagles could have the number 1 draft pick the following year.
Right, but he's still going to get paid what he's going to get paid.
Yeah, but if he doesn't want to play for the Bengals, he's going to lose a year of playing life.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a decision to make.
Yeah.
And what happens if they draft him again?
Then that just shows how shitty the Bengals are that they have back-to-back years of the number 1 overall draft pick.
I just think it's asinine. I'd be happy to be in the league.
Yeah. That's why I just don't understand these players. But sticking with the NFL here, the NFL owners sent over their CBA proposal, which includes a 17th week.
Well, it would be 18th.
Or 17th game, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are
they going to cut any preseason?
The way it sounds, yeah, they're going to drop the preseason down to 3 games. They're also going to add a extra playoff team in each conference. So now they would want 7 teams to go to the playoffs. The number 1 seed will get the bye. Number 2 seed will be not getting a bye. And now it sounds like the Super Bowl would be played Valentine's weekend. That's going to break up a lot of families.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So let's start with the 17th game. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. You could drop 2, you get 1. I mean, but it counts. Why not? And
the players also will get a higher cut of the profits. Right now with this CBA, I believe it's like 45% of profits they get. With this new CBA, it'd get bumped up to 48 or 49. Also, I didn't think about this. You think about the 48, 49%. You're like, oh wow, that's pretty big chunk. But really, the NFL owners are still making a shitload more money because you got 32 owners and you got over 1,000 players.
Right.
So it's still a smaller amount that kickback. As far as the playoffs. How do you feel about the 2nd seed not getting a bye now?
That's what I mean. It's a little odd.
That because they, if they went with the 7-team playoff scenario this past year, the Rams would have played the number 2 seed and the Steelers. I forget who would have been the number 7 seed there, but I don't like the 7th team because now we're slowly turning into the NBA and NHL where everybody makes the playoffs now. 7 teams, that's almost half your conference.
Right.
Making a playoff. And we saw this year with the Eagles made it as the 4th seed as a 7 or 9 team. Now you might be looking at even a 6 and 10 team making the playoffs. I just think it would be a bad fit for adding a 7th team.
I don't know. It's extra football. I don't know if anybody would really mind.
But do you think it needs to be changed? The playoffs?
I mean, they've been talking about doing that for years because they wanted to cut some of the preseason out. So if that's what they're going to do and people are happy, then I say go with it.
I guess. To me, the playoff setup works. So, like the old adage, don't fix what's not broken. But that won't take effect. The only way it'll take effect this year is if they sign the CBA within the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, they would be looking at next season to start that with the 17th week and the extra playoff team. So we haven't really talked too much about Eagles news past couple weeks, and
a lot of news going on.
So it came out. Alshon Jeffery is open to being traded to a different team.
Good. Bye-bye. Can we do it as a package with Nelson Aguilar?
Well, he's a free agent, so he'll be a free walk.
But we need to do something at receiver, but listen, I'm appreciative for what he did, but last season was garbage.
Yeah.
The season after the Super Bowl was nothing but an injury. And I liked him, but he seems to be a problem in the locker room.
Yeah, and he had an issue when he was with the Bears too. And that also, with this coming out, with last year the anonymous source, Carson Wentz is a prima donna type shit. Obviously now we know who was the anonymous source. Now also I want to question, okay, he got hurt in week 2 and then couldn't catch a ball after he came back. I mean
he had, again, he's a good receiver, but he's got no speed.
No.
His route running isn't the best. He's just a jump ball guy.
That's all he is.
And I have news for him, okay? And that is he's not going to get a deal he thinks he's going to get.
Yeah. The deal he got with Philly
was the best. Seems like once he won the Super Bowl, he thinks that he's something, but he's proving nothing since.
Yeah. He's been injury prone.
I mean, I honestly at this point would take Deshaun over him.
Yeah. So.
And I don't see where he's coming from.
Now,
where else is he going to go with a legit shot? Right.
I don't know.
He's going to end up somewhere like either like the Redskins or
Dallas, because
maybe Dallas.
How do you feel about Amari Cooper maybe coming to Philly?
Again, he's another one. I like him if he can stay healthy and he doesn't start his prima donna bullshit. Yeah. But yeah, I have no problem with that. I liked Amari when he was on the Raiders. Obviously, I had a pure hatred for him when he was on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, fine. Give us Amari. We'll give you him and call it a day. I don't know what to tell you.
Now, the other wide receiver that is asking for a trade, Stephon Diggs from the Vikings.
I would love to get him.
Let's remember what happened last year.
Okay.
Wasn't getting enough targets. He yelled at Kirk Cousins, had a little tantrum on the sidelines. I mean, again, to me.
But I think there's a little more passion behind his because you got to remember they were in the playoffs twice where they had a really good chance.
Yeah.
They didn't make it.
Yeah.
And, those kind of players feel like if I got the ball more, I could have did something.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to, because he hasn't been a problem up until recent.
Yeah.
He's been in the league for a little bit now.
Yeah.
He's got speed. He's a good route runner. He's not real old.
Here's my thing is, okay, if he started all his prima donna stuff because he wasn't getting enough targets, Philly passes the ball around. Obviously,
yeah, but
Zach Ertz is the number one guy.
I still think he'd get more targets than in Minnesota.
Well, I mean, probably because, Deshaun's no Adam Thielen.
Right.
I mean, maybe JJ's Adam Thielen.
Well, you got to understand, too, and I'm not putting Kirk Cousins down, but he was under so much pressure, he was trying to make sure throws.
Yeah.
So we have Carson that's explosive, and if you have Deshaun taking the house off and Diggs taking the house off, then you throw Cooper in there.
Yeah.
How are they not scoring touchdowns?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And
I think he'd be a good slot. If you keep Deshaun out, on the outside is number 2. Put Diggs in as a slot.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine over.
Well, he would definitely be an upgrade over Nelson Aguilar.
Wow, the fucking towel boy is.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just my opinion. I won't mind. We definitely need something at receiver.
Yeah. I actually want us to draft a receiver. I know we don't have the best record as far as picking wide receivers in the draft. I mean,
yeah,
really,
I mean, we could have had a great one last year.
Yeah, and we,
I mean, I'm not drinking decaf coffee, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he just is shit. So I had a falling asleep moment there. Fuck you.
You heard it, folks. He fucking agreed.
So
DK Metcalf would have been a better addition.
Period. I don't know. I still.
Are you going to say that when he breaks records and fucking is in the league for 50 years?
Again, I don't think we used JJ the right way, and I think they would have used...
I don't think JJ's good. I didn't think he was good in college.
I think they would have used Metcalf the same way they used JJ.
And he would have caught the fucking balls that were thrown to him.
JJ caught the balls.
No, sure he did. He also dropped fucking his shit ton.
No, he didn't.
Him and now... Oh, my God. Okay.
All right. It looks like I got you waking up now.
But I have no idea how we're a fan of the Eagles together. And this is a fucking argument. Wow.
So going back to Alshon Jeffery, the only issue or the only problem that the Eagles are going to have is that contract. If they trade him or release him, we have to eat, I think it's like $9 million. It's going to be $9 million of dead money.
That's tough.
That's tough. We have as
That's why. Well, wouldn't it be better than on a trade to get a productive receiver? Because even if he's lower class, and we could build with him, because at least you're eating that money, but it's going towards a receiver, so to speak.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, as of right now, we have $40 million in cap space. We're going to talk about some cornerbacks that maybe Philly could, go after. But if and when, once you're done doing all your free agent signings, your rookie signings and stuff like that, if we still have like $20 million in space, and no one wants to trade for him, I'd release him. Eat the $9 million. So it's only for this year.
Right.
I'm pretty sure as long as it's before June, whatever, that money is all on this year's cap.
Well, my thing is, too, why would we want to keep somebody in the locker room that doesn't want to be there?
And that's my point, too.
Let him learn. He got lucky when he talked shit and left Chicago.
Yeah.
He came to a team and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's not many of those teams looking for a slow, tall, goofy receiver.
Yeah. And I found it funny that one of his reasons for a trade is me and Carson never saw eye to eye. One of the first things you said when you came to Philly was, I'm glad I'm playing for a quarterback like Carson Wentz.
Right, because he forgets what it was like playing for Jay Feely and fucking...
Rex Grossman and...
and the other guy. I'm falling asleep again.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all like Matt McGloin type guys.
Cutler.
Cutler was okay.
Dude, he fucking just dropped back and went, woohoo! So... I mean, go ahead. Power to you. I don't want a guy on the team. And I'm not saying I dislike Alshon. I just don't think he did what he did for us. And he was one of those players we needed in the Super Bowl. Yeah. He was heroic with the injury and the big catch.
Yeah.
But other than those moments, he wasn't consistent to me.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have a really big game this week and then just disappear next week.
He didn't take the attention of other cornerbacks.
No.
People weren't double covering him.
Yeah.
So he didn't help the team any other way.
Yeah.
And he had a serious drop.
Yeah. Yeah. It cost us the game. Cost us our season.
Right. And, he was all bummed out. What was that? Because he didn't see eye to eye with Carson when it went through his hands?
That was Foles.
Oh, that's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was Foles' fault. Maybe he just didn't throw it the right way.
Yeah, you didn't get me on that one. Good luck on that.
What? I mean, as far as a trade, I would even like a couple of guys I was arguing with, like, oh, well, no team's gonna want to pick him. If you offer him for a 6th or 7th round draft pick, I think someone will jump all over it. Because it's a low risk, high reward for that team. Or
to be honest, what if it's him and a defensive end where you are fucking real deep?
Yeah.
And a team needs a defensive end.
Yeah.
I think there's always some room to finagle.
Yeah.
But I think something needs to be done.
Yeah.
So.
So like I said, free agency starts, I believe, like halfway through March, mid-March, something like that. Obviously, we need some cornerbacks. We're going on 2-3 years of just abysmal play.
Yeah, it seems like the ones that fit left.
Yeah.
So, Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, and he actually, I don't think he did that good with.
He made big plays in the Super Bowl.
No. Yeah, for us, but when he moved on, he just disappeared.
That's what I mean. It was just something magical about that team as everything clicked.
Yeah,
and you don't need 100 A+ players. You just need a team that works together and fights together.
And that's what I said. When we started going on the winning streak this past year, it seemed like they got back to the no one likes us, we don't care attitude that we had in the Super Bowl year.
I mean, and not to knock Carson, it's because he's young in the league, but I just think Nick had a little bit more leadership to keep him going. For some reason, the guys liked playing for him. It was that simple.
That and
I think that's going to come for Carson. Yeah. I'm not knocking him. I'm really not. He has talent, and as long as he stays healthy, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I think they had a little bit to play with him.
Yeah, and I've said, for years now, Nick Foles is a totally different quarterback than Wentz. Foles doesn't run or scramble, so that offensive line doesn't have to worry about the fire drill.
Right.
Once gets outside.
Jailbreak everybody.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's been proven some of the greatest quarterbacks are pocket passers,
Yeah.
man. I mean, that's why I love Nick. But Nick could also scoot when he had to.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't no Michael Vick by any means.
No, I mean, it took him a half hour to run 5 yards.
Right, but he would get 10.
Yeah.
He played smart. I don't know. And I don't want to seem like I'm on this wagon that's just putting Wentz down.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I have a lot of love for Nick, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just think his leadership was a little progressed along because of where he's been, how he's played, how long he's played. And I think it's going to come for Carson.
What about Alshon Jeffery for Nick Foles?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because I didn't read the article, but ESPN did a what if thing and what it would take for Nick Foles to come back to Philly.
I really wish he would.
It just seems like
they
something
clicked
about,
together.
Yeah.
They were a brotherhood. He was truly for Carson, and God forbid Carson does go down. I know maybe Nick doesn't want to be a backup, but sometimes you got to go where you really fit.
Yeah,
and it's like
unfortunately,
Philadelphia was born for him.
Exactly. You know, he went to St. Louis and nearly retired. Went to KC as a backup.
Right.
And
I mean, he played better in KC because I really do believe that the coaching staff in St. Louis wasn't what he needed.
Yeah. Jeff Fisher is just fucking garbage.
I mean, I don't have hatred for Fisher, and I don't think he's a bad coach, but he was stuck in that mentality where he didn't want to switch.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the type of system that Foles needed.
So, like I said, we have $40 million in cap space.
Right.
Ronald Darby's a free agent. Bye-bye. Jalen Mills is a free agent. I kind of want to see him back again.
Yeah, I think there's promise there.
Depending on how much.
I think he's developing. And again, if we can get Brian Dawkins to be a defensive backs coach.
He's not. We hired Atlanta Falcons, which I thought their defense sucked.
They do.
Yeah. But Lito Shepard came out. He was his teammate, this cornerbacks coach. I forget the guy's name. Said, when he played with them, he is a Brian Dawkins mentality coach. He's very big on.
Well, then maybe it'll work.
Yeah, he's high intensity. He's very big on studying the littlest things, technique, and all that stuff. So we'll see about that.
Right, and I think sometimes it's just when you get your players to go back to the basics.
Yeah.
And rework those fundamentals, I think players excel.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, all right. Well, what's your take? What's the cornerbacks out there?
So, there was like a list of 4 or 5, and a lot of them were like 31, 32 years old. I'm thinking, Howie wants to go
temporary
young.
Fix. Yeah.
The one name that constantly keeps getting brought up and tied with Philly is Byron Jones from the Dallas Cowboys. They have a lot of players they have to sign. Dak Prescott. Brian Jones is another one.
It's just one of those teams that, like, whenever we get a player from there, they just don't seem to mesh.
Yeah. And to me, though, this kid sounds like Nnamdi Asawa from Oakland that we signed that one year. I don't think he's going to fit our system.
Right. And that's what it is. You could be a great player, but if it's not like, I mean, it's the same thing with Nick.
Yeah.
I'm a little weary on that. What else you got?
And then James Bradbury. The reason why I put his name on here, in 2019.
I gotta be honest, I don't even know who the fuck he is.
Well, this is why I think he'd be good. He played against DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans, A.J. Brown, and Julio Jones. Okay,
right.
3 of the 4 are probably top receivers of the league.
No, I'd say they're all top 15.
DeAndre Hopkins, he held to 41 yards in a game.
That's good.
Mike Evans, 157 yards over 2 games.
That's not bad.
Julio Jones, 56 yards.
So everybody's under 100.
Yeah. And I believe he's like 28, 29. Right. So, and the article I was reading, I believe this was on CBS Sports as well, I was reading, he's a good bridge guy. So if we draft a corner in the 2nd or 3rd round, sign this kid to a 2-3 years to help groom the rookie, and then when the rookie's ready to go, he'll be a free agent, and we're not blowing our cap space.
Yeah, I mean, how much money is he looking?
Him, I think they said that he could get like the $8-9 million a year, whereas Byron Jones is already said $15 to $16 million is too low. So I guess he wants like the 20 million, which
he can dream.
Yeah. But you know, not a lot, but I have seen a lot of people say we need more production from our defensive line, and that's why our corners suck. I think just the opposite. If we can't cover guys, we're not giving our line enough time to get back there.
I can see both sides though, because I've said it this year.
Yeah,
that I'm not seeing enough production out of them guys. And it's because I guess I was used to seeing that Super Bowl running team that was making pressure constantly.
Yeah,
and they were they were held in check a little bit this year.
Yeah,
so,
even Fletcher Cox, he didn't come on till second half of the season.
Right.
I mean, you know, when we're paying him however much money, you know, the 15, 20, whatever we were, you know, I expect you to play and show up 16, maybe 17 games every year.
Right.
You know, I know there was a couple, and on top of that, you know, we don't know how much the injuries to Malik Jackson and Tim Jernigan affected Fletcher Cox, because now...
Right. I understand that, but you still got to be able to be that superstar. He's paid at that level.
Yeah.
I'm looking for him to be, you know, Reggie White-esque.
Yeah.
And I understand nobody's going to be. But it's like you've seen these other no-names, like even Kansas City's guys and different teams that got pressure, and I'm like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's a culmination of everything, but I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Is there any, let me ask you this, is there any big-name corners that are free?
Honestly, Byron Jones is the biggest name that's going to be out there.
Right.
And like I said, he's going to be, if he said 15, 16 million a year is too low.
Right. Well, no, because I think, and honestly, we need at least two.
Yeah.
We need some depth and we need some help.
Well, I mean, we could probably sign one free agent, draft one to be our third corner, and bring Jalen Mills back for another year. Sidney Jones is still on the team. I'm kind of giving up on him. You know,
see, I'm not yet. He has a lot of shining moments. It's just he almost reminds me of a Fleury in hockey. Like, is it he needs a sports shrink? Because you can't be that hot and cold. He's definitely bipolar in his game.
Yeah, that's
so. I don't know.
That's my issue with him. Is he just there's no in between with him.
Or is it the change of guard and defense? Like Jim Shorts is calling the shots and stuff. I get it, but it seemed like at times he played a lot more conservative this year.
Yeah.
So is that have an effect? And then culmination with the defensive line, and then obviously our linebacker core isn't the best because they let Nigel go.
Yeah. I don't like that. I mean, I hope what I'm hoping with him is, and this might be selfish, no one signs him, and come training camp and bring him back, because he's a hard hitter. He reminds me of Trotter.
Again, he had some mishaps.
Yeah.
With his play, he had a little bit of injury off and on.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just like us saying about other players. We expect what we've seen from him earlier in his career, and he hasn't lived up to that anymore.
No, and that's probably why they released him. You know, probably his cap number wasn't matching his productivity, so that's why they did it. And that's why I'm hoping we could maybe down the line bring him back at a cheaper rate. You know, we've seen it with Jeremiah Trotter. You know, he left to go to the Redskins, didn't do shit there. We re-signed him for a year or two, and he was okay.
Right.
How about now? I don't know if you've seen about this. We're not hiring an offensive coordinator.
Oh Jesus, I'm out of the loop.
Doug Peterson is going to be doing everything.
It never works.
I think this is a make or break season for him. I think if
it never fucking works.
Yeah. And
how many great head coaches have we watched take double duty and fucking blow it?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's going to be a long season.
And on top of that, they never interviewed Deuce.
That's leaving a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah. Well, it got to the point he actually called South Carolina, the college where he played football at, because they had a running backs coach position open, and asked about it. So it seems like and I don't blame him. Like I said, you overlooked him.
Yeah, but is that a smart move? If your ultimate goal is to get where you want in the NFL, I mean, I don't see doing that's going to help him.
Well, I mean, a fresh start. and maybe a different
But
road.
he has more. I think he has more of a role now than he would as just the running backs coach.
But if he wants to be a head coach and sees, going nowhere as the running back / assistant head coach for the Eagles, go to South Carolina as running backs coach for 1 year and have an NFL team hire you next year.
If that's a big if and but.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I mean, I'm not gonna.
That's why I was a little pissed. They didn't even interview him. I mean, Jesus Christ, you freaking. Oh, so wide receiver coach. Remember, everybody's like, oh, Hines Ward was in. Yeah, we went with some Moorhead guy. Played 1 year for us. Played with the Colts. He was the Vanderbilt's, I believe it was Vanderbilt, wide receiver coach.
Oh, I think I kind of remember him.
Yeah. So we got him.
I don't know what we're thinking.
Our medical staff completely revamped. We fired everybody. I'm like, good. I mean, when you have 2 years of how many injuries, something's going wrong.
Yeah, but does that not fall in conditioning, maybe? That would fall to the head coach.
I would say more of the conditioning, strength and conditioning coach and the medical.
Well, I guess I'm used to Chip.
Because, again, Deshaun, when he had his abdomen or whatever, strain or whatever, they suggested to him to just rehab it. You don't need the surgery. You'll be back in 2 weeks. And what? Turned out to be a 10-week freaking thing, which if he would have did the surgery, he would have guaranteed to be back the 6th or 7th week. So, basically the medical team...
They dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough business. For me, though, is it really make or break for... I mean, how much time do we owe Doug? He did get the Super Bowl.
Here's the thing, though, is, okay, last year we could throw the blame at Mike Groh or the quarterback's coach or whoever it was. Now it's all on Doug. There's no one to throw the blame on except for Doug.
I think he's spreading himself too thin.
Yeah.
So
I really think they should have picked an offense coordinator, somebody. I know Jim Caldwell's out there. I know you weren't big on him, but I think he would have been a good pick. He was pretty good with the Ravens.
I mean, is it a possibility that when Doug can't handle it, it goes to Deuce?
I don't know. I don't think so, because we also have a passing game coordinator. And then we also have a coach for a running game coordinator.
Right. Okay, sure.
Like, what happened to the days of just head coach, offense coordinator, defensive coordinator? That's it.
Designated towel coordinator.
Yeah.
That's like taking a janitor and saying he's a fucking hospitality specialist.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right. I think it's going to be another long fucking season.
Yeah. So before we go, last week, the XFL game with Matt McGloin, did you see that fiasco with him?
No, I didn't see it. I know they got blown out.
They got blown out. He was garbage. I mean, he threw more to the other team than his own team. I think he was like 5 or 6 to the other team. Right? Halftime comes, and running off the field, a reporter comes up to him and goes, Matt, what do you think's got to change for the second half? We got to take the game plan, throw it away, and start fresh. How can you start fresh with a game plan when you're already half in? Then on top,
I mean, the game plan isn't throwing the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
The game plan is having a structure and an idea, but you still got to make the pass.
Then on top of that, about the third quarter or so, a Mike picked him up talking to another player on his team and said, I knew we were going to come in today and lose. Why'd you even show up then? No wonder why you're not
There's
in
a
the
reason
NFL.
he's playing in the XFL.
Exactly.
And
I mean,
everybody could have been happy for him for the performance he put in the week before, but there's a reason he's in the XFL.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I mean, really, honestly, there's only 3 players so far that really jumped out to me that I think should get an NFL try next season. That's P.J. Walker, the quarterback for, I think it's the Roughnecks, their wide receiver, Phillips, and Prohl from Seattle. I mean, I watched a little bit of the game before I came up here, and some of the catches, I'm like, let's get rid of Jeffrey and sign Prohl.
Right, I wouldn't mind giving him a shot.
I mean, he's got good
Fuck,
pedigree.
take AJ.
Yeah, so.
Argus side, fucking white side, fucking pimple popper.
Yeah, we'll trade him for Stephon Diggs.
Bye-bye. I'd trade him to the XFL. I think he might fucking have a productive season there.
I see the XFL within the next 3. If it gets through 2 seasons, it's going to stick around. And I see the 3rd or 4th year, NFL contacting them about maybe making them. Remember NFL Europe?
Yeah,
like a developmental.
Yeah, D-League.
Yeah, and I think it would be smart.
Right.
You know, so. You awake?
Yes.
Well, because I think we're done now.
Great. What about the boxing match?
Oh, yeah. So we got Tyson Fury tonight against Wilder. No, not that Wilder.
Van Wilder? The Rise of Taj?
Who you going with?
Fury.
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
I'll be watching it, so.
Maybe in your fucking... with your eyelids shut.
No, I'm going Fury, too. I liked his one trash talk statement. He goes to Wilder, "You're the 3rd best heavyweight in the division." Wilder said, "Well, who's number 2?" He goes, "Your mama." But just something about him, just...
He's more of a spectacle.
Yeah, but he's not a Conor McGregor spectacle. Like, he's actually... He's good at selling the fights.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to watch it tonight. I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah. I don't even know how much it is. What? 60?
I'm too tired to hook up a fucking fire stick, so...
But we don't do that illegally. We pay for everything.
What's this wee shit?
Okay, Bernie pays for everything, and
you got a fucking mouse in your pocket or what?
Wee.
I mean, I'd like to see Fury win.
One other thing too, I forgot about this. I know a NFL player that really likes to party.
Oh yeah,
Greg Robinson.
Yes, he does.
157 pounds of fucking weed. Like, I don't understand. You made $29 million.
You only get a 2-game suspension, right?
Actually, that was another part of the CBA. They removed marijuana as a banned substance, so now players will not get suspended for.
Well, then they owe Josh Gordon a shit ton of money.
They owe him 157 pounds of weed.
He's like, I'm back.
I'm mentally strong now. I never had mental problems.
Let's fucking sign him.
There you go.
Here you go, Smokey.
But what a fucking dumbass guy.
Every touchdown you score, you get a fucking dime bag. God damn it, he scored 13 touchdowns.
In one game.
Somebody call up that guy. We need his 157 pounds.
Why is Josh Gordon out there on the defense?
I'm open! Over here! I don't know if you also heard. We didn't get to check in with Rexington, but the hell was that?
I think that was the person you're just about to talk about here.
Antonio Brown got attacked.
Oh, really?
Yes. They called it a drive-by meddling. He was ripping out reps in the bench press.
Yeah.
And even his weight bench turned on him. He done got up and got smacked in the head.
Yeah, if you guys Google Antonio Brown, I think what I did is Antonio Brown weightlift action or something like that.
He got, like, that guy needs any more brain damage.
I will give him credit, though, because he did post the video of it.
Right.
He said, "My weight bench still hits harder than Vontae's set." Perfect. There we go.
You're
I got
perfect
hit
the
by
way you
a
are.
fucking weight bench. But yeah, I mean, I wonder if he got split wide open because that thing came down pretty hard on him too, and I've had it hit me a couple times. It don't feel good.
It's pretty brutal. I ain't gonna lie. It looked like he broke his neck.
It was funny. He crumbled, and he wants to do a boxing match.
Yeah, you already got knocked out. Well, one other thing is Alice.
Ooh.
Alan's oldest boy, Jamie.
Okay.
It's his birthday today, so shout out to Jamie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
and hopefully we'll have him on someday for a quick talk. But it's his birthday today, so I thought we'd throw him a shout out.
Yeah. Happy birthday from all of us at Stay Tuned Sports, even from Sasquatch.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. You.
We are so fucking creepy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young kid. The world at his hands, so good for him.
All right, so I guess that's going to be it till next week.
You keep talking smack over there, and I'll gritty you.
Hey, he was cleared of the allegations, so.
So was O.J. Simpson.
OJ never did.
If the scruff doesn't fit, you must have quit.
So before we go, head over to Twitter. Follow us there at ST Sports Podcast. I may live tweet a little bit later for the Fury fight. Like and share our Facebook page, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are still working on the live streaming thing. We think we have it all figured out as far as the issue.
There's that wee shit again.
Okay, I think I have all the issues figured out. But so till next week, this is your good friend Jimbo.
It's O'Brien, baby.
See ya.
Peace.